The PWHL just revealed their brand new jerseys, and this time they actually have logos on them. I'm really happy about that. If you guys were unaware, in the first season of the PWHL, they had no team branding whatsoever, so all of the jerseys just had the city name right on the front, sort of like Utah, but they did it first. With those first year jerseys, I did actually like them a decent amount. Outside of the war marks on the front, I thought the designs were pretty cool, and the color schemes were fantastic. Really nice looking colors, really unique as well, and thankfully they have kept most of the same color schemes with these new jerseys here. They've changed it up a little bit, but for the most part, they are relatively the same. So I would prepare yourselves because I'm going to be gushing over the colors in this video. But yeah, before we do, go ahead and take a look at all 12 new jerseys. If you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. All right, let's get into them. Okay, the first team we'll take a look at here is the Boston Fleet. I've seen a lot of people really love this jersey and say that it's their favorite. I don't know if it's quite my favorite, but it is very nice. I will do a ranking of all of these jerseys at the end of the video, by the way, so I'll probably have that in a timestamp. But yeah, this jersey here is quite nice. I love the colors on this jersey. Like I said, I'll be saying that a lot, but the main green is great. It's that minty green that really brings it over the top for me. They used to have gray on their first year jerseys, but they've upgraded, at least in my mind, to this minty green, and I think it is fantastic. It's a very unique color for jersey, so I think that is a huge bonus. I do love the stripes on this jersey here as well. I think that is great. We talked a little bit about the logo previously when they officially revealed these logos, but this is also, one of the best logos that they released out of the 6. I think it's a great looking logo. It does give off the Hartford Whalers vibe a little bit for sure, and I think that is intentional. I think that's probably the direction that they would want to go in. It has that anchor, but just flipped over to the side. So with the back here, there is actually two things that I want to talk about, and that's relevant to every single one of these jerseys that we're going to take a look at. It's the same thing with all of these jerseys. The first one is a complaint. The second thing is a positive. So we'll talk about the complaint first, and that is the striping on the arms. So as we can see, it doesn't actually go all the way around the arm. It stops about, I would probably say right there, something like that. And for me, that is really disappointing. I do not think that looks good whatsoever. I assume that it is like a Bauer's choice and not just, the team's choice, because obviously it's every single team. I guess it could be the league's choice, but yeah, either way, whether it is a Bauer thing or just the PWHL thing, I really don't like it. I don't think it looks particularly great. Now, with most of the pictures that I was taking a look at, you can't really see it too often, which is a good thing, but I don't know why they wouldn't just continue the stripe all the way around. I think that would make it look way better. So yeah, that is definitely my biggest issue that I have with these jerseys. The positive thing that I want to talk about though is the numbers on these jerseys. So as you can see, there is a little bit of detail inside of the numbers, and that is the same thing with every single one of these jerseys. Now, obviously it is different depending on the team. So with the Boston one, it is a wave pattern. It's different with the other teams, but I think that's a lot of fun, just have something unique with each individual jersey. Now, I don't know if they're executed 100% properly in my eyes. It's like almost there for me. I think this is something that I need to think about for a couple of more days, see some better pictures, or at least see the jerseys on ice. Sometimes I do like it, and other times I think it's maybe a little bit tacky. Like with these Boston ones here, I think the wave pattern is slightly cool, but I feel like I would probably rather it go all the way across the numbers, just have the numbers be fully in the wave pattern, or maybe just have it like half wave pattern and the rest be like above the sea or something like that. I don't know. I think also though that could be hard to execute, and that could come off as even more tacky than these here. So I'm not quite too sure 100% where I sit on it, but I think overall I do lean a little bit more to the side of I like it and I think it's pretty cool. Let's also go ahead and take a look at their away jersey here. So this is also really nice. In this picture, you can see what I was talking about with the arm stripes, how on her right arm there, it's not going all the way around. So yeah, not a massive fan of that. That's something that does bug me a decent amount, I will say. But outside of that, once again, the colors are great. The striping is really nice. It's overall a very nice looking jersey, and we can also take a look at the numbers here. This is an actual picture, so we can see how that design is implemented. It looks like it's actually cut out from the number and not an embroidery on top of it. So it's somewhat like a perforated number kit in that kind of sense, which is different. I actually kind of like that decision that it's cut out rather than just added on. I think that does look good. But those are the Boston jerseys. Let's move on to the Minnesota Frost. So this is their home jersey, and I love the colors. Once again, I think the colors really nice. The purple is awesome. That lighter purple, kind of even going into the pink, that looks great as well. It is a very nice color scheme. With the logo, that is something that is a little bit lacking. I think I like the logo a little bit more than most people, but yeah, it's nothing too crazy. It is literally just an F with some, icicles hanging off of it. So that is probably the most disappointing aspect of this jersey here, is the logo itself. It does make it feel a little bit lacking. And also, it feels like there is a lot of extra space at the bottom of the jersey just because of the way that the logo is shaped. With it being an F kind of going diagonal this way, it has a lot of room in the bottom left hand of the jersey there. So that is probably my only flaw with this jersey. I do really like the purple as the main color of the jersey. I love purple as the main color. We can take a quick look at the back here, and we can see that with their customization, it looks to be like little icicles. That's at least what it seems like to me. So that is also very neat, something personalized to each team. I think that is quite cool. Something that I didn't bring up when I was talking about Boston is the shoulder patches on these jerseys. It is the exact same on the Boston ones as it is on the Minnesota ones. At least I'm fairly certain. But on their right hand side, you have the PWHL patch, and I really am not actually a huge fan of it. I think A, it's way too big. B, it's not made overly well from at least what I was looking at. I only saw one quick picture, and I don't even actually have it on me here. I'll have to try and dig for it so I can show you guys. But from what I was looking at, it didn't really look like it was made very nicely either. On top of that, you do already have the PWHL logo right there in the collar. So I think it's really not needed whatsoever, and I just don't really love it. On the other shoulder though, it's an ad patch. At least I'm pretty sure it is. I haven't actually seen a good picture of it, but from the angles that I've seen, I'm fairly certain it's an ad patch, which at least it's not on the front of the jersey with the Boston ones, but it is a fairly big ad patch, I'll say that. So obviously I'm not in love with it, but we're kind of in the era where all jerseys unfortunately do have ad patches, so I kind of have to get used to it. Unfortunately, with the Minnesota ones, they do also have another ad patch that is on the front there. So Wood Creek Distillers. Yeah, it's not a terrible looking one, but it's pretty big. Like, that's a pretty big ad patch. So that is unfortunate also. Not really a huge fan of that, but we can go on, take a look at the away jersey for the Minnesota Frost here. And yeah, the away jersey also very, very nice. Really do like it a lot. I really hate the ad patch on this one. I'll say that because of the fact that it's orange for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't color match it here though, because I don't think the orange is a smart decision. Maybe that's how it, their branding usually is, but the orange on the white, I think, doesn't stand out very nicely. Like, for an advertiser, I feel like you would want it to stand out. So I think it blends in almost a little bit too much to the white, but when you do see it, it's very distracting and not in a good way once again. So I feel like if they just made it purple, like, the other parts of the jersey, I think it would actually be visible, but also not too distracting to the point where, it angers people. So I feel like that is a very odd choice, but that's just what they did, I guess. Whatever. Either way, yeah, the stripes, very nice on this jersey. And like I said, the colors, great. It is that logo that still is a little bit lacking, but otherwise, I do think that these Minnesota jerseys are very, very good. Our next team here is the New York Sirens, and this is another jersey that I really, really love. The colors are very unique, where you have that orange with the lighter blue and then the darker blue. I think that is just not really a color pattern or a color scheme that you see too often, so I think that is really, really nice. I do also like the striping on this jersey. Once again, not a huge fan that it doesn't go all the way around, but I still think it is quite nice. The only issue that I do have is the logo. I'm not a massive fan of the logo, to be completely honest with you guys. I talked about it when they released these logos that I'm not really a huge fan of the direction they took the Sirens name in. They're using it more as like goal sirens, when I feel like you either could have used it as police sirens and, fireman sirens, those where, I still don't know if I would have loved it. I think personally, I would have preferred it if they went the mythical direction of like the Sirens of the Sea and kind of have that. I think you could have had a really cool logo, especially with this color scheme. I think it would have been very, very nice, but I also do understand why they probably wouldn't want to go in that direction. I can kind of get that also at the same time. But I still don't love the logo. It's just not my favorite. If we take a quick look at the back of the jersey, we can see that their number detail is basically the vibrations, where it is a gray and then I think a lighter blue and then a little bit of a darker blue. That's kind of their thought to it, and I think that does look nice on the numbers. I think that is actually kind of cool, even though I don't love it in the logo. I think it looks a little bit better with the numbers there. And then here is the away jersey. Also does look very nice. Another thing that I will say about the logo is I do think I actually like the logo on this jersey here, the away jersey, more than the home, just because of the way that it's colorized. So we can see that the Sirens text does stand out quite a bit on this jersey because it is that lighter blue. It does make the NY in the background fade in a little bit too much, but I still think it doesn't look too bad. Where if we go back to the home jersey here, it's that NY that really does stand out, but the Sirens kind of blends into the background because it's the same color. So I wonder how it would look if you swap the colors and have the NY be that lighter blue and then the Sirens be the white. I think think that would make the siren stand out a little bit more, but maybe it would blend in a little bit too much for the NY. Not really quite too sure, but it is kind of how it works on the away jersey, where the NY does blend into the background a decent amount. So I don't know, it's something that I would like to see, but I don't know if it would look particularly that great. Either way though, I do like this away jersey a lot also, like I said. Now we can go on to the Montreal Victoire. These jerseys are phenomenal. I absolutely love these things. It's the reason why I'm wearing the Montreal jersey here and the Montreal hat, is because these are my favorite. I'll spoil the ranking at the end. These are my favorite. It's just so great. I absolutely love almost every aspect of this jersey. There is a couple of things that I'm not really a huge fan of. The logo, I think, is fine on the jersey. It's a little bit big. It was my favorite logo when we were just taking a look at the logos individually. On the jersey itself, I don't know if it is my favorite just because of the shape itself. I think, that home plate shape is just a little bit too big on a jersey, but it's fine. Like, it's not a massive deal. It doesn't ruin the jersey for myself. The other thing that I also don't really love is just the thin light blue stripe at the bottom. I think that is just a weird choice because there's no light blue anywhere else. That's the only light blue on the jersey, and even like the uniform in general, I'm pretty sure that's the only light blue. So I'm not really quite too sure why they decided to use the light blue there. That's really the only things that I don't like. Outside of that, like I said, I do like the logo, even though it is a little bit big. The colors, the rest of the colors are phenomenal. That maroon, the darker blue, the cream, it's all great. I really, really do like this thing. The detail on their numbers is the fleur-de-lis, and I think that obviously works perfectly with Montreal. It also just works in general with this jersey because the head of the bird is the fleur-de-lis. So yeah, that looks great. With the away jersey here, the away jersey is phenomenal. It's even better than the home jersey, and I really, really do like the home jersey. Once again, not a massive fan of the little blue stripe at the bottom there, but I do think that the logo actually looks better on this jersey here. For some reason, that outline improves it. I'm not really quite too sure why, but of course, the thing that I really, really love is the color of the away jersey. It is that cream, which if you guys know me, I love my cream jerseys. I think they're so phenomenal. They're like my favorite jerseys almost always. They're always at the top of my list for sure. So yeah, this away jersey is just so phenomenal. I absolutely love this thing. Taking a closer look at the details on this away jersey, we can see that the numbers are outlined in that lighter blue. So, I guess that does help. The lighter blue stripe at the bottom, it's implemented a little bit more on this away jersey. So yeah, I think that's probably better, I will say, than the home jersey in that aspect, because at least, they're trying to kind of put it throughout the jersey a little bit more than it just having the one stripe at the bottom, and that's about it. And on these Montreal jerseys, the PWHL shoulder patch is changed to the French version, so the LPHF, which makes sense. It is a Montreal jersey. Even on the NHL jerseys, they have it in the French spelling, the LNH. It's hard to say when you're so used to saying NHL, but yeah, they have it even on the NHL one, so it makes sense to do it with the PWHL. On top of that, they are called the Victoire and not like the Victories or something, English wise. It is a French spelling team. It's a French team. So very, very much makes sense. But it's also just a nice touch. Okay, next up is the Ottawa Charge. So this was my least favorite logo when I did a ranking of them, a few months back when they revealed, and I still really don't like the logo. Unfortunately, I also am not a huge fan of the jersey. The colors are still a little bit interesting because you do have the darker gray, the lighter gray, and the yellow. So it's something different. I do like that, but for some reason, I just really am not a huge fan of this one, unfortunately. It's not like I hate it, but it definitely kind of comes into a just okay area for myself. It's nothing that I think is fantastic. It's nothing that I think is terrible either. The logo is the worst part for sure. I still think that logo is just not good really at all. We can take a quick look at the numbers on this jersey. The numbers I do think are nice. You kind of have that triangle, which is the kind of speed lines that is in the logo. So I think that is actually a neat little touch on their numbers there. I think that actually does look pretty good. But yeah, it's an okay jersey. We can take a quick look at the away one. I think I do like the away jersey a decent amount more, honestly, than the home jersey. I think the logo looks a little bit better in these colors, and the striping does look better here also. It basically replaces that darker gray with the red. Even though I did not mind the darker gray on the home jersey, I think it being limited to just the collar and at the very bottom of the jersey, I think it works a little bit better, honestly. But yeah, unfortunately, that's really the only compliments that I can give this jersey. Not a massive fan of it. And our last team to take a look at at is the Toronto Scepters. So this jersey I really do like quite a bit. The colors is really what I like about it. That lighter blue, the darker blue look great, and just that little bit of yellow throughout the jersey I think look great. Obviously it is the main color of the crest itself and the main color of the collar, but just the little bit of yellow in the numbers and then also in the striping. They did take out the black from the first year jerseys, which I was a little bit disappointed with when I saw the logo. You know, I thought they were going to take out the black, which I was kind of sad with because I thought it worked really, really well on those original jerseys, but they basically replaced it with the yellow, and I think it works well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with these jerseys here. Their little detail inside of the numbers is the top of the scepter, which I think, you know, works fine. It looks a little bit like either raindrops or teardrops, so from a distance, I don't know how nice it'll look. I don't have an actual photo of it. I just have this stock photo here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, I think from a distance, it could look a little bit strange. Probably, at least in my opinion, maybe the worst detail out of all of them. I think this is probably the one that works the least, but it's not a massive deal in my eyes. We can also go ahead and take a look at the away jersey. The away jersey also looks fantastic. I think I do actually like the away jersey a little bit more than the home, but you know, I do tend to like away jerseys more than the home in a lot of cases. But yeah, I think Toronto did a very good job with their jerseys here. So let's go ahead and rank all of these jerseys. I'm going to have to take a second here to actually do my ranking. Okay, I have my rankings here. Now, I am just going to go by team. I'm not going to go by each individual jersey. Honestly, I'm just running out of time, so I don't have time to rank every single jersey, but they would probably stick fairly closely, you know, with the home and the away. I don't think they would go too crazy up or down. So yeah, we're just going to go by team very, very quickly. So I apologize for that. But at number 6, I have the Ottawa Charge. I don't hate their jerseys. You know, I think the colors are fine, but they're just not anything too unique, at least in my opinion. And that logo is not very good. So yeah, they come in at number 6. At number 5, it's unfortunate, but I have the Minnesota Frost. So I really wanted to like these jerseys. I wanted them to be higher up, but it's just that logo that does drag it down quite a bit. It's just a little too boring, honestly, as a logo. So yeah, that is why they're at number 5. I still really like their jerseys a lot. Like, they would be an 8 out of 10, something like that. Like, they're still really, really high up in terms of an out of 10 ranking. But just with the rankings here, I do have them at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have the New York Sirens. They are a team also that I love their color scheme. The logo, not my favorite, so you know, I do think it's a little bit better than that Frost logo, but it's still just not something that I super vibe with, so that is why they're at number 4. At number 3, I have the Toronto Scepters. Their jerseys, very, very nice. You know, I don't have any major issues with them. Their logo, I think is pretty good. Their jerseys, you know, the striping and the colors are really, really nice. So yeah, they are at number 3. At number 2, I have the Boston Fleet. Really like the colors on their jersey. The logo is quite interesting. I like the fact that it has a little bit of a wave pattern inside of the logo. Think that is really neat. But of course, at number 1, I do have the Montreal Victoires. They have a very fitting name because they were my favorite logo when I did a ranking of those, and now they have my favorite jerseys. So yeah, their name works great for them, at least in my opinion. We'll see how their season goes. But yeah, if I had to pick my favorite jersey and my least favorite jersey out of the bunch, definitely the Montreal's away jersey. That is my favorite. I absolutely love that. And my least favorite would probably be the Ottawa home jerseys. So yeah, that is my favorite and my least favorite, but that's all the rankings of the jerseys that I'm going to do. I'm not going to go each individual one because yeah, I would just spend so much time trying to do that. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. The PWHL, in my opinion, they did a phenomenal job with these jerseys. Even those Ottawa ones, you know, I'm not really a massive fan of them, but I don't hate them. The rest of the jerseys, I think, are really, really nice, honestly. But of course, those are just my opinions. I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.